All right, family. Welcome to season 2 of In the Living Room.
You forgot what it was called.
Dude, it's been a minute.
How?
2026 has been a blur.
How is it May?
It's gonna
Like-
be May. It's the middle of May, bro.
Wild.
And listen, we're just excited to be back on the pod, bringing this back to life. So welcome to the living room.
Yes, and believe us, we missed you.
Yeah. Welcome back to the living room where we have real, honest conversations for whatever space of life you're living in. And we have been living in a blender. We had every intention of coming back at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And then we blinked and it was the middle of May. And now we have a business that is happening offshore. We went to China for 2 weeks.
Yeah, China was epic.
That was amazing. And then we have an 11-year-old. She just turned 11 on the 5th of May. We have a freshman cheerleader in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Man, y'all
and a
pray
middle
for
school
us, man.
cheerleader too. You
And-
forget about her.
I know, man. Little Bailey. It's because Bailey feels like she's like the high school counselor already. Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, man, a lot has happened the first 5 months. Hopefully you've had an incredible first, almost half of the year. That's wild, dude.
Wild.
And thank you for being patient with us on coming back. But we're back, man. We're back, and we missed you. Diana said it earlier. We completely missed you. And it was one of these things where like we had intentions. Like we talked about it all year.
We set it up. Like we set up time. We set up everything. Well, you set up everything to record. And then we would just look at the time and the girls had to be here. We had to be there. And we just were never able to sit.
Yeah. Well, I think here's the thing. If we're going to just keep it a buck in the living room, we just didn't deliberately commit ourselves to do it. Right.
Yeah. No matter if we had a good attitude, bad attitude.
No, for real.
we had to make the commitment.
We didn't act like pros. There's this really great book that I read years ago. We read it together. It's called The War of Art by a guy named Stephen Pressfield.
That was a rough book to get through.
Rough why?
Because it confronts you.
Oh yeah, it's a chin check. Yeah, it's an easy read. It's super easy read. It's called the War of Art, not the Art of War. That's Sun Tzu. That's a different book.
Yeah.
But I think the guy's name is Stephen Pressfield, the author. But one of the things that he says is the difference between a pro and an amateur is that an amateur waits for time and an amateur waits for the feeling to like do it. A pro just shows up and does it every day because it's like, man, whether I'm inspired or uninspired, whether I have an idea or not an idea, whether I have a direction or I'm just completely oblivious, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to record, or I'm going to write, I'm going to speak.
Yeah,
I'm
whatever
gonna lead,
your craft is,
whatever it is, man. So full transparency, we were acting like amateurs and we decided now we want to be pros. I think one of the things with that as I'm thinking about it, babe, is we never said it because I think what happens is you tend to be in denial, but I think we quietly quit our commitment to the pod.
Yeah, I think we both had a strong sense of wanting to do it, not only because it really does help honestly our relationship and our conversations, but I really do feel that this is something that helps other people, which we love and both enjoy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it takes a lot of work. And so it's easy to be like, oh, okay, well, we'll do it next time. But deep down, well, for me, I'm like, oh, it's okay if we don't.
Yeah.
But I never really told you that because I know you're very passionate about this. So I was kind of like, okay, well, we'll see if it'll happen. And if either of us don't push each other, it's easy to quietly quit.
Yeah, I think you just said a couple of things, right? Like where you just admitted, thank you for your honesty. You just admitted that you quietly were like, it's okay if we don't do this.
Yeah.
And I think obviously the point of view there is that you don't just quietly quit a podcast I think there's a lot of different places where you can quietly quit something, right? You can quietly quit the gym. Right. You just find things to fill that space. It's like, oh man, I got to work, or, oh man, like, I can't get there early, or, oh man, I don't have the right shoes, or, oh, you know what? I'll get it. It's too cold. I'll go in the summer. And what we do is we just quietly quit our commitments, and I think, the scariest place as a couple where that can show up is quietly quitting our marriage, quietly quitting our commitment to intimacy, quietly quitting our communication.
Yeah.
I think that's something that a lot of us, I think it's one of those things where like you're subconsciously aware of it.
Yeah.
But you're trying to like not look at it. You're trying to keep it quiet, right? Duh. Like it's, Yeah,
It's in
Captain
the
Obvious,
name.
right? It's in the name, but you're just trying to keep it quiet, right? And I think for me, that's a pattern that I'm actually becoming very aware. Even if it's as we're talking about it, it's like, oh my gosh, man! Like, I think there are things where what I would call quote unquote prioritization, it really is just quietly shoving things to the side, in the wrong hierarchy of priorities.
Mhm.
You know,
Has there ever been a situation in your life where you want to be transparent about quietly quitting that you might have never even let the other person know?
yeah, I think. Oh, I mean, which context do you want to talk? Do you want to talk friendship? Do you want to talk
I mean, that's
our
up to you.
relationship?
No, I have a story on my end.
Well, then you lead the charge. Then
Okay, okay.
I would love to
Well,
hear your story.
for me, it was like a friendship that I really valued. And I would give 100% into
Mm,
that friendship. And I loved this person. But I realized with her actions that it really wasn't reciprocated 100-fold. And I think I was willing to do the 150. But when I realized that, man, oh shoot, you're not even 50%. You're like at 15%. I think I know I quietly quit. I started backing away, never let her know. I started maybe not calling as much, not
yeah,
giving myself the opportunity to share of myself.
sure,
I would allow the other person, yeah, you can talk to me all day long. I'm not gonna not respond, and I'm not gonna be there for you. Like, I'm always gonna be there, but I never gave of myself
sure,
because I'm like, no, like this is gonna hurt too much.
sure.
Instead of being, I guess, strong enough to have the tough conversation of, hey, we've been friends for like 15 years, right? I feel like that type of friendship, it's worth having a conversation,
100%.
but I just didn't want to face it.
Right.
So my way out is like, I'm just going to quietly quit. Won't affect her at all, but it affected me.
What do you mean? So when you said it affected you, what did that look like? What did that feel like for you?
For me, I just started being like cynical. And I'm like, oh, you only call me when you need me. And it's the truth.
Mm,
It was
mm,
100% the truth. But I don't even know if this person meant to do that. That was just her way of operating.
yeah.
So I never really sat down and gave her the opportunity to even correct it because I never said anything.
You know what's so interesting about that though, right? Like, I think that when we can quietly quit, like in this case, a relationship, but we'll loudly complain about something that we're quietly quitting.
But
Right.
only to certain people.
Yeah, well, but still, right? But the complaining
That's
gets
true.
loud,
You're right.
or the hurt gets loud, or the offense gets loud. Like, in your case, the cynicism,
Hmm.
all of that gets really loud when, the thing that should have the volume and have the amplification is, first of all, I think it's honesty. Like, let me be honest about what this relationship is. A
Right.
lot of times, something that you quietly quit on is something that should sunset, right? Like, sometimes it's like, you know what? Yeah, this relationship is not what it used to be. We were really close when we were young. Life is just we've drifted apart,
Drifted
which
apart.
that happens. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with that necessarily. But I think where it gets weird is where the drift has happened, but then when we interact, we're both like, oh yeah, no, yeah, for sure. We should get together. Oh, for sure. We should vacation. Oh yeah, for sure. We should do something. And we just tell each other and we gas each other up, but
Mhm.
we never really like have any intentionality at all. And I think what happens, at least for me, if I'm being just totally honest, it's, I, I think I don't, for me, when it comes to friendships and stuff, like sometimes I don't like to let them die. Some things where it's like, man, like, if it's wrongdoing or someone's acting completely out of character or whatever, then it's like, oh no, man, that's easy to draw the line, draw the
Yeah.
boundary. But when it's just like, man, we're just drifting, like I kind of almost feel obligated,
Mm.
right? And so I stay engaged just enough to say things I don't mean.
Mm. Yeah, I'm the complete opposite.
Uh,
I
well,
will.
aren't you amazing?
No, no,
I'm
no.
just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm
I'm kidding. I'm
different than
kidding.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think my part is worse because I'm there listening to you 100%, even helping you with your problems. But I know deep down inside, or I make myself think, oh, you really don't care about me. So there's still like, that's still ugly,
Yeah, for sure.
but I'm not going to try and get together with you. I'm good. You could just call me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you I want to, but secretly be like, please don't ever call me.
That's crazy.
That's
I just feel like that's so much work.
well, it's not. Well, look, I don't think it's work. I think in the moment it's very, it's very instant gratification of a sense of duty, where it's like in the moment, like you're almost believing yourself, like you're
Jeez.
gassing yourself up. Where you're like, okay, I'm there for this person. I'm actually committed. And it's like, yeah, for sure, man. Like, oh gosh, yeah. Like, man, yeah, we should, meet up, or we should get our families together, blah, blah, blah. And then internally, if you're being a complete transparency, it's like, I have no intention of ever doing that. But at the same time, I'm trying to hold on to a relationship that I've drifted away from.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that's what it is. Right. Some of it, more than, quietly quitting is more than, I think, as I'm thinking about this right now, I think it's more than just, we drift apart. I think it's like, I'm trying to like be in denial that this interaction and this engagement is over. And I'm trying to just keep it quiet because maybe I just don't like that confrontation, or I don't like to end that thing like that.
Yeah. Because either way, it takes bravery. Because there has to be some type of confrontation.
Sure.
Either we're going to close the door or we're going to re-engage with better communication.
Yeah.
So what's your story? If you have one.
No, man, I have multiple stories. I think one that I might be walking through right now is quietly quitting a mentor, possibly. And I don't know. I think I'm actually, today I got a text message, right? And it's like,
God's like, nope.
well, look, here's how it feels, right? It feels like every time we text, it's the same text,
I hear you.
right? And the effort is all like me. And I think for me, it's one of these things where I'm just like, okay, maybe this has run its course, but I still want to stay in connection. I still want to stay in relationship, but maybe this isn't what it is.
Yeah,
right.
That's tough.
And so like I quietly, I don't want to confront it because I really love this person. This person is like super important, or has been classically in our lives, super duper important. But at the same time, it's almost like we haven't seen each other this year.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. Maybe that's way too personal and way too honest right now. But I'm catching myself internally just saying, oh, okay, well, I'll text later just to keep the connection alive. But I don't feel like, the intensity, or I don't feel the
engagement,
the
or
level
care
of commitment to this relationship, but I don't want to say anything about it. Right. And so I think we just quietly quit with that. So yeah, that's my story today on it.
Yeah.
I think for me and you, if we can just bring it into our living room, I think there's an aspect where you can quietly quit something and not necessarily be aware of it. I think there's been patterns and rhythms in our marriage where we're running parallel with each other. But we never intersect perpendicularly, like we don't collide with each other. And it feels like, okay, I see you, you see me, we're in, parallel lanes. But quietly, not that we've quit, but quietly we've gotten used to a degree of distance, or quietly we've gotten used to a degree of silence between each other. And as I'm considering just the whole concept or the threat of quietly quitting something, I think that's what happens to a lot of couples that I think are in our season of life right now. And, I know there's a lot of young couples that watch, and there's a lot of OG couples that watch that, like you let us know that this blesses you and you share it with younger couples, et cetera. But I think one of the big liabilities that's in our season of life right now is that we can be quiet, but still be around each other, and call that communication, and call that interaction, and call that intimacy. And quietly, we're just getting really used to silence between each other, and I'm actually currently right now in this moment as we're talking, I'm really convicted about that.
Yeah, there's a study I was reading not too long ago that the percentage of divorcees between the age of 40 to 60 has gone up by like 50%, because they have done exactly that. Quietly quit on each other, to where you no longer expect anything from the other person, because, you've been married for so long. A lot of these couples have gotten to the point where their children are in high school. So they've left to college. So they're at a point where it's just like, oh gosh, it's just me and you again. And I have no idea who you are, because I was picking up the kids, dropping off the kids, taking them there, going here with or without you, because that could be our life, from one day to the other. You're not always available. I'm not always available, whatever the case may be. So I do see now, where before, where like when I was in my 20s, I'm like, well, I don't know how that can happen, because we were always together. We did everything together.
Right.
And now it's like we do a lot of things on our own.
Yeah, there's a lot of independence.
There's a
for
lot of
sure.
independence.
I think it's interesting that you say that. I think in the dynamic of our marriage, in the dynamic of our life, yeah, so we just hit 22 years. That's another big deal for us this year in January. Happy anniversary to us. We haven't talked since like last November. With
Our cash app is. I'm just kidding.
but we just hit 22 years of marriage, right? And you're absolutely right. Like the front end so far of our marriage was like everything was together, almost to the line of codependence.
On my part, okay.
Yeah,
Because you were fine alone.
Sure. But I think now, right, the liability or the threat is like independence of each other, right? We become very, very self-sufficient.
Yeah, which is also crazy when it comes to women 35 and up. Your hormones are changing, and your brain is actually rewiring to the point where you want to be alone.
Yeah.
Which is neuroscience, you know? And so when that happens, the husband has no idea that the wife is going through all these real physiological changes. And now that's where he goes off and finds somebody else because they're not paying attention to one to another or whatever. But it's not that. It's just you're literally changing who you are.
Sure.
So I think it's really important in our season of life to don't allow yourself to drift, but intentionally, like, even though you're annoyed at each other, make yourself be in the same proximity with real life conversations.
Yeah. I think you just hit the nail on the head, right? Have real conversations. I'm thinking, me, I'm a problem solver, right? And so I'm thinking about, okay, so then what is the response to a pattern of quiet quitting, right? Like how do I react to it? I think you just have to get loud. You have to get loud on your communication. You have to get loud on your interaction. One of the things that I'm as you're speaking, I'm taking inventory of, okay, what does it feel like for me? What does quietly quitting feel like? And I think subtly it can become, oh, I don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, oh, I don't need you. No, I'm cool. Like, I don't need you in my day to day. I'm cool. I don't miss you necessarily. We've just got so much equity in the bank because of our intimacy over the last several years, over the 20 years of marriage. Where that can become a threat where it's like, man, I don't need you. And so I think
those words right there are right. Like, I don't need you.
Right.
You're right. I got my own money. I got my own car. I have my own key to the house. Like, I got my own stuff, but I want to want you.
Man, you just home run with that statement, right? Quietly, I can feel like I don't need you, but loudly, I need to be able to say, hey, I want you around.
Yeah.
I don't need you around, but I want you around.
Yeah.
And so I think the one side of quiet quitting where it becomes dangerous is where you quietly navigate with that sentiment. Man, okay, no, you're cool. I don't need it. You're cool. I don't need you. But then you have to create these places and these moments and these collisions and these interactions where you very loudly say, but I want you.
Yeah, that's so
right?
good.
I want you around. I want you cuddled up next to me. I want to feel you. I want to see you. I want to smell you. I want to make you laugh. I want to take you out. I want to buy you a corn dog or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I hate corn dogs.
I don't know why a corn dog. It's like an old hip hop lyric, man.
Oh.
I want to take you out. I want to buy corn dogs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's super wild, right? But no, yeah, I agree. I agree 100% that's the thing that you have to get loud on, right? And I think what happens is we get loud on the wrong things, and it just exponentially magnifies and amplifies the distance and the space between us. But I think you and I think we do a good job of regulating and aligning and assessing. We're not perfect.
I think the phrase that you say, like, I don't want, or like, I don't need you. Our context is very different. The only time I feel like I don't want you, I don't need you is when I'm hurt by you. Like when I have my feelings hurt and I'm like, I'm good by myself. Like, just leave me. Right. And I think for you is when you're on a trajectory of like work and you're just going, and you don't want to be interrupted. Sure. So our definitions are very different. And to me, it's more of a guarded position,
Sure.
like, because I'm hurt by you.
Sure.
And you're just like on your own, doing your own thing, trying to provide, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree, but I think what we've done, because we've gone through both of those scenarios
Mhm.
in like the last 2 months,
Yeah.
for sure. I remember like we said we're gonna keep it honest in this living room, right? So like like 5 or 6 weeks ago, we had a conversation about the podcast,
Mhm.
right? Which ended up in we had an argument about where it was going, but it resolved well. Like it did, it resolved well. Because here's the thing, I was pressuring Diana to like, we have to record today. We have to record today. And I think I'm wired such where like, even if I'm just angry, I can just flip a switch and turn it
Yeah,
on.
you can.
And then I'm gonna perform, and then I'm gonna turn off that and be back, and I'm gonna be mad.
And my switch is not there.
And you don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just wired very differently, right? But one of the things that when we resolved it was, hey, obviously we have very different ideas about the trajectory of this thing.
Mhm.
Are you saying you don't want to come along for the ride? What are you saying? And I think where we ended up was, look, Cruz, if you feel like you want to take content in a certain direction and you want to take the velocity and the speed of that, for you, do that, but you don't have to feel like you bring me along, but I'm going to be here. Right. And that really blessed me. Right. Like it really did. And so there are things like on my, like that I'm going to do personal, right, that I don't feel guilty about anymore. Right. Because like we had a conversation. And so I could have quietly quit those desires that I had to like run at a certain pace and justified it by like, but no, but like Diana's dragging me
Mhm.
down. She's holding me back. But we were able to like have a loud interaction out loud, right? Rather than quietly mope and quietly pout
And
and
assume.
then assume, or like worse, like I can see where I could have quietly blamed you,
Mhm.
right? I could have had like some disappointment and some disillusionment and completely projected it on you. Like, it's Diana's fault. She's holding me back.
Yeah.
When rather than just keeping all those things quiet, we brought them to the surface and you said, hey bro, I don't have a desire to do that, but you do. Go run, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to be right here though. I'm
Yeah.
going to be right here. I don't want to be in front of the camera with you when you do that kind of stuff, but I'm going to be right here.
Yeah.
And man, that really blessed me, because now like, it's like, man, not only did I get to be loud about what's in my heart, you gave me the beautiful gift of being loud in supporting.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that the big liability and the big threat in getting quiet is that the things that need to be heard and said don't get heard and said.
Yeah, that's good. And I think that's growth. That's called growth. Because I think in the past, when we were first married, maybe the first 5 to 7 years, I did want to be part of everything. And I would get upset, like when you didn't include me or didn't invite me.
Yeah, sure.
And so I could see where you're like, well, I'm doing my best to include you. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, because I'm good. So I think it was such a needed conversation that we hadn't had since we got married. Because we're both in like different stages of life
Different
now.
modes. Yeah, I know. I love it. I think in all you're getting, get an understanding, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Again and again and
Oh, for sure.
again. And
For
I
sure.
think that's something people forget. Like, even if it's only been 2 weeks, their mind might have changed.
Sure. No, I
And
love
so
that.
you gotta get that understanding again.
You just come back and say, hey, we agreed on this.
Are we
still
still
here?
good? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great point. So I think moral of the story, man, for the talk today is, oh, you called it. You called it. You just heard the doorbell. This is real. You just heard the doorbell. You said UPS was going to get here.
Yeah. My running shoes.
Yeah. So another thing that happened was we became runners.
I mean, I used to be a runner.
Yes.
And then I quit running because I hated it after running forever. And now
This year, I
yeah.
decided that I was going to run a full marathon. So at the time of this recording, it is May 15th. My marathon, my 26.2 miles is on May 31st.
Just in case you don't know what a marathon is, he wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
May 31st.
May 31st in San Diego.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to do a half because I have no desire.
yeah, well, I did have a desire. So,
And I'm here to support.
Yeah. So your running shoes just got here in the middle of our podcast recording.
Yay.
You called it. Good job. But what I was going to say is this, is that we cannot relent getting loud and obvious on the things that matter,
matter.
right? And we have to resist the urge of quietly harboring things, quietly harboring regret,
Yeah.
quietly harboring resentment, quietly harboring blame, right? And all of that, man, we could go down the line, right? So you just don't get quiet, man. Like if you're gonna err on the side of loudness, but loudness with the right reason. Don't get belligerent. Don't be loud with the things that don't
Nagging and
matter.
blaming.
Right.
I just have the urge to say, let's get loud. Let's get loud. You know that song? It was just in my head.
That's funny. That's so funny.
Sorry, I had to.
I love it. Man, that's a good talk. We're back. Our intent is to be in the living room once a week.
Yes.
So
Fingers
we can't
crossed.
wait to just get back in a rhythm with you guys. Thank you for those of you that are watching. Thank you, and can't wait to just get back on this journey. Don't get quiet, man. As a matter of fact, in the spirit, there we go. In the spirit of not being quiet, man, turn on the bell notification for our channel. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment, bro.
We want to talk to you.
Let us know. And if you want more of this type of content, we're also on social. All of the handles are in the description of this video, man. Thank you for joining us in the living room, man. We love this. Peace.